Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Yessik here again today to bring you another episode of Indie Crunch, and today we're looking at Undercolor Agents. This is another Loot 'em Dare game that is developed by Paul Greasley, who's actually one of my favorite indie game developers for a lot of reasons, and I know it's sort of weird calling him my favorite when he's so small. He's developed Fistful of Gun, Under the Ocean, Under the Garden, and generally participates in the Loot 'em Dare competition. Now, Agents Undercover is a very basic game with a very basic story and very basic premise. Unfortunately, I can't show you from the beginning of the game because I've already unlocked hardcore mode, which makes things considerably, well, more hardcore to say the least. And the basic premise is that you are fighting off an invasion of unauthorized hues, because you live in a black and white world and hues are absolutely not allowed. So I'm not sure if there are authorized hues. To be honest, I haven't read that deeply into the story. But basically, all the different agents have different colors, and those different colors make them better against certain types of enemies. For instance, I am the red agent, and the red agent is better at destroying red enemies. Now, I'm not sure if this is true, but I've also noticed that it is very hard for me to destroy colors that I am directly opposed to, like very, very far from me on the spectrum. It makes it harder. I'm not sure if this is true, but if it is true, I think that's a really cool feature. And as you can tell, I'm being assimilated left, right, and the center here. And the interesting thing about this game, other than the general premise, which I think is kind of cool, is that it is 8-player local co-op, which is absolutely ridiculous if you ask me. And one of the reasons Paul Greasley is actually my favorite indie game developer isn't because he makes the most awesome Steam games that come out all the time, but a lot of the games he makes are A, free, and B, local co-op. By the way, you can actually change weapons after you've picked another one up, so you aren't stuck with just one weapon. Generally, you have one control for fire and one control for change weapons, and you can shoot through walls. Now, a game that this kind of oddly reminds me of is Pac-Man, and not because it has similar gameplay, but because it has very similar focus goals, and you end up focusing on like 3 or 4 different things at the same time. You focus on collecting weapons, you focus on destroying enemies, you focus on dodging enemies, all at the same time, and you focus on destroying these pylons, which are generating the creep, which generate the monsters. Now, I really wish there were actually weapons on this map, because I'm having a very hard time. I see there is a machine gun up there if I can get to it, which I will try to do. Okay, running away. The other thing that's important to note about this game when you're playing is that it isn't actually the pylons that generate the monsters. It seems to be the creep that actually generates them. I have to... Oh, okay, got done in. It seems to be the creep that generates them, so if you don't clear away the creep, you will keep having monsters spawn on you, even though you're doing well in taking out all the pylons, which is your final objective in every level. The other thing you might want to know is that the flamethrower is OP as shit, because it seems to travel right through monsters and right through walls like they're not even in the way, which is awesome. And big guy, having a hard time with, okay. Another interesting thing, and I'm not sure if this was done on purpose or accidentally, is that you can only aim in one direction at a time, and you have to stop firing to re-aim your gun, although you can move around with just completely free will. So as you can tell, I'm firing in one direction, but I can't actually change my aim. Now if I stop firing and start refiring, then I can change my aim, and it becomes very important to swap your firing direction a lot, especially when you're avoiding such large groups of enemies. I have a weird weapon here. It's probably one of my favorite weapons, actually, just because it's so kind of... I think it's a disruptor ray or something. As you might imagine, the story for this game isn't very deep, and if it is, I'm just not getting it. So I'm just enjoying playing. And I have actually played quite a bit of this with Yessik, and an episode of Couch Co-op will be coming out tomorrow to showcase the co-op in this. And I really like that he's actually added a hardcore mode. Now, I said this is a Loot 'em Dare game. This is actually the upgraded version of the Loot 'em Dare game. The actual Loot 'em Dare is still available on his site because voting is still happening, but he liked the game, so he's apparently still working on it at the moment. I have to get away from here. And there is a flamethrower on this map, but I'm not sure if I can get to it without taking excessive amounts of damage. Okay, let's get through here. Lovely. So the other good thing about the flamethrower is it cuts through creep really fast. Now, one of the things I did not notice is that it actually has a really hard time, like, weapons stop your bullets, so enemies can use weapons as cover. No, I actually don't want to use the bounce round, so I'm just going to switch here back to my flamethrower. Awesome. If you get the flamethrower I've found so far, you pretty much win, so there are some balance issues going on. But you know, for a free 8-player co-op game, 8-player co-op is also couch co-op, I'd like to mention, not just regular co-op. I still think this is pretty damn good. Another couple games that I really highly recommend from Paul Greasley, from Farmer Gnome, as he's also called, is Fistful of Gun, which is probably my favorite game by him. And, yeah, Under the Ocean is also very good, but a bit hard to get in at the beginner's level. There's a lot of complexity to the game. And I do notice that there is a flamethrower there, so level broken again. The machine gun here is also really nice, so I'm going to pick that up for a little while. It's more focused fire than the flamethrower is. Oh, it got bouncing bombs. No, okay, back to machine gun. There we go. As you can see, there are actually orange enemies still spawning because I forgot to destroy all the orange creep in the area. But mainly your objective is to go after these pylons. There we go. And here I can test to see if my theory is right about these being easier to destroy than... Oh, there's still a red one. I didn't kill my own color first. Awful. Yeah, so anyways, this is pretty much the whole game, as much as I can showcase. Again, the main charm of this game is that it's 8-player co-op, and I think that's the main selling point of it being a good game. I also like the general design and aesthetic. The enemies being cube is a bit strange, but I do enjoy it nonetheless. You know, there are more games than this that use cubes as enemies, so I'm not going to fault him on that. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I hope you'll check out this game and other Ludum Dare games, because I plan on covering more of them. You can also vote on the Ludum Dare website for games that you have enjoyed. And thank you guys for watching. I will link to all these sites below, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.